Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're going to look at this Mammoth rig and we're going to explore all the features of this rig as well as the plugins and some other like muscles and Adonis FX muscles and other things that you get with this rig. If I show you, you will get two different rigs when you get this rig. So the first one is the animation rig, which is this high-res animation rig, which does not have any muscles or anything. It's just for animation. But it does have many nice things that I will talk in a while. The second one is Adonis FX muscle rig, which is exactly same as this animation rig plus the Adonis FX muscles. The reason I separated them is because not everyone would like to use Adonis FX muscles because that's the extra step. So I just decided to make that a separate file and as a separate rig. You also get this light setup with this, which you can see right now. I have lights in my scene and my scene looks a little bit nicer. And then the textures, and then you get two different Ragdoll setups, which I will show you in a while. One for the full body and one for the Jiggle setup. So this model is made by my great friend Fernando Usbaga. I'm very thankful for him for making this model and for letting me acquire this model for our entire community. So now let me start looking at this rig. So I'm going to start by moving the trunk and by moving this guy up and down, and let's see how well this model is deforming as I'm moving him around. So you might to show you the details, I have to go to the the gray shaded mode. So now you can see like the wrinkles and like the other things that are coming out as I'm moving this this guy. So now you can see like as the leg is moving back, the wrinkles and the muscle motion that is happening inside. So right now the entire thing is driven by the blend shape, all the the muscles and everything that you are looking here. And like the same thing goes with the back leg. So if I move the back leg in the back, and then the kind of wrinkles that you're seeing there, and like even the front side, and like even the shapes of the entire geometry, like so this entire thing is driven by the skin as well as the blend shapes. So there are many things going on. There are no muscles right now. Muscle file is separate, and we're going to look at that in a while. I'm going to start looking at this by exploring this trunk. So let me turn on the textures again. So now as you can see, like I'm just holding this IK controller and I'm trying to move this trunk around. So that's because right now I'm controlling the first layer of this trunk, which is this IK layer. You can see the you can switch this IK layer from the spine, or you can check out this float controller. So this is also a part of the same layers. The float controllers are just like to move the trunk with this separate IK controllers. They are just there to help you animate this trunk in a different way. You can also switch from float to FK controllers. So the FK are gonna just behave like FKs. They are like and we have this first FK layer, and then we have another layer inside. So you can choose from this FK, float, or spine controllers. All of these are driving this layer which is inside. So you can see as I'm moving this the spine controller, there are some controllers inside that are getting driven by this. So these are FK controllers. So there's a extra layer inside which is FK layer. So let me put this spine to default to show you what's the inside layer. So right now there are these blue controllers. If I select those blue controllers, if I rotate them, so now you can see like these are like FK controllers that are underneath this IK layer. So now you can give this trunk a shape using that FK layer, and you can still move this entire trunk using this IK controller. So like that's because like this FK layer is driven by this IK controllers. And and then this underneath this FK layer you have some more controllers. These are individual controllers which are driving directly the joints. So the reason I have this individual controllers at the end of the layer is because I wanted to drive them using the Ragdoll dynamics. So like so this like I designed this trunk in a way so that we have the most amount of control. You will be able to control this, like you can animate the trunk at the same same time you can move the trunk around using this IK. You can have multiple layers of animation, and it's the same setup with the tail. So if I select the tail, you will see the tail setup is also exactly same. We have this IK controllers, we have underneath that we have these FK controllers, and underneath the FK controllers we have these individual controllers which we are going to use for ragdoll dynamics. And now you can see like anything that you do is controlled by this outside main layer. And then instead of this IK, you can choose to use as float controller, which are just driving as as individual IKs, or even you can choose to use this IK layer as FK as well. So I'm gonna just switch to spline for now. And okay, so now that's just the trunk and the tail. Now I'm gonna move on to the face controller. So now on the face we have all the controllers that you need. Which means now I can use this controller to give him a smile, or give him a any kind of expression I want. And I have some more controllers down here to drive this lip in a different way, and not just that, we can turn on many other controllers. So down here we have these tertiary lip controllers which we can use to drive this this mouth in a different way, so I mean, you can imagine how you can control this. Now at the same time, you have some extra attributes down here to to roll the lips. You can roll the lips, you can zip the lips. So zipping will work if the mouth is closed, and then you have these different tangents, and there are many other controllers to control this mouth. And now you can see as I'm driving this lip, these cheek controllers are moving with it. So now you can see it's like a skin sliding effect that you are seeing as we are driving the lip here. So you can decide how much this cheek should move as you move this. So now, for example, here you can see if I select this one, you have this there are values here which are letting you know that how much you should see the motion as you are moving this lip. So here you can see that in X direction right now is set to 0.5. You can set to 0.8, and then you will see that this controller will move more as you are moving this lip one. So there's a decent amount of control here which you can decide that how you want this this face and this mouth to move. The story is same with the eyes, so you can you have a decent amount of control on the eyes. You can turn on many other controllers in this eye, and you have this there are some pupil controllers which are right here. So you can try animating the pupil here, and then you have this individual eye controllers here, and then there are some other things here, and you also have this outside eye which is just driving this skin on the side. If you want to really give a nice detail to the eye opening and closing, then having this many controllers makes complete sense. And then of course you have this eyelid to give even more finer expressions. And same thing, you can turn on secondary controllers on the eyelid, and you can go crazy with these controllers and move them even more. Okay, so that's just a brief intro of the face. Now moving on to the ear controller. So for ear, you just have just general FK controls, and they are I just put them in a way so that you have maximum amount of control on these ears. If you feel lazy to animate these ears, we have a full body ragdoll setup anyway. Again, for we can use that ragdoll to drive this trunk, to drive these ears and the tail in a really nice way. So you have these individual controllers for these the ear here, to give all kind of flaps here. Okay, so that's just for the ear. Now we're going to look at the spine and the neck. Starting with the neck, you have a neck controller here which is driving the neck, and you can turn on some more twist controllers for the neck, if to give even more detail to the individual part of the neck. And then you have the head which is driving the overall the head and the neck kind of thing. So you can, if you want to animate this head, you can individually you can just select the head and move around like this, or you can just use this neck controller and move and animate the head the way you want. And then moving on to the spine, you have these front body and the back body controller separately. This is just if you want to animate the front and back body, like based on the reference separately. And then so for that, in that case, like you have these individual front and back spine. These are like IK controllers, but at the same time you have these FK controllers which are driving like even the front body, and you also have FK for the back body as well. So now you see like this controller is driving the back part of the spine. Okay, and then there are some other middle controllers, same like on the neck you have some like these tweakers. Similarly you have some tweakers for the middle part of the trunk, and these are just movable controllers. For if you want to rotate the spine, then you have some more finer like controls here that that you can use to move the spine and like to do the way to control this creature the way you want. I mean, yeah. And like and again, like you can explore some more things here. So that's just like as we are looking at the spine, we are exploring. Now let's look at the legs here. Right now, in the beginning of this video, I was showing you how this leg was deforming as I was moving. So I'm gonna start by looking at this main controller right here in the middle that we are seeing. So this controller is driving this leg. I mean, this is I specifically made this so that it's easier for us to animate this leg in a nicer way, because instead of selecting all these individual controllers and trying to animate all of them in specific directions, I just made this one controller that is driving this foot in all kind of ways. And then you have this, if you move it up and down, this foot is kind of squashing and stretching, like especially like when the foot is landing on the ground, there's a good amount of like like a foot kind of spread out a little bit. So now to do all those things you can do just using this one controller, you should be able to do all kind of moves here. And then you have this separate toe controller here, and then separate like for this ball roll, and you can instead of like you can use that one, or you can use this one for the ball roll. Yeah, and then you have this lower leg controller, which is driving like the how the angle of this lower leg side. But you can turn on many other controllers on this rig which are not visible yet. Let me just turn on all of them. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn on all of them. So right now you can see like there are some bendy controllers. At the same time you have these even smaller bendy controller. You can bend it from many different smaller sides, and then you can, if you want to control this leg from the joint itself, like you can decide to move this leg the way you want and the way you want to position. You can use this these primary, I think these are like these are just driving this entire leg from the joints. And then you have some extra set, like jiggle kind of like overall leg jiggle controller. So these are just driving this entire leg to rotate. So there are some, I think there are some more controllers hiding down there. I think I should have moved them outside. And like they are driving this entire part in like very specific ways. And not to mention, like you have these jiggle controllers, like they are like we're going to talk about these jiggle controllers more later. And then like so now I think I'm going to talk about this major thing, which is leg lock feature. So now if I select this controller here, like we have this shoulder lock feature. So this is if you want to keep the length of this leg locked. So right now if I move this, I turn on the shoulder lock of this leg from this controller. And so now if I select this spine of this controller, and if I try to move the spine, you can see like this leg is trying to maintain its length, and like I can move it up and down. So this is really beneficial, and it's really helpful when you're trying to make a cycle and you want to maintain the length of the leg, and you don't want to lose that so like for example, like if I'm animating the spine, and if I try to add all the nicer things, like any animation that we will add in this leg will be kind of modified as soon as I move the spine here. But if you turn on the shoulder lock, then you can see like now even if with the rotations, like we are trying to you know, we're trying not to lose you know, any deformations and any kind of animation that you will do on the leg. So again, of course, like you can turn this on and you can turn it off. It's up to you. So this is just the IK, and like now, you know, for sure, like, you know, you have the FK and like, you know, other things like, you know, you can try. So now you can see, like, as I'm rotating this leg in FK, it's even more visible. So like how this leg is kind of deforming with the rotation of this. And then you can see like how this overall leg is deforming. Like, you know, when we are rotating in the front, there are kind of you know, shapes that are making it look nicer, and the same thing goes with the back side as I'm moving in, rotating in the back side. So there are some wrinkles here that are making it look nicer. Yeah, so we'll keep going it. I'm gonna put it back to IK for now. It's the same story with the back leg. You know, the only thing is the back leg does not have the shoulder because it's connected directly to the, you know, to the hips. Like, I think this is just a quick look at the at this rig. I'm gonna put this rig to 0 now, and I will now try to load some of the ragdolls, and I want to see, like, you know, how does the ragdoll looks in this rig. So I think hopefully we explored everything, and you know, I will mention if I miss anything. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and I will load the full body ragdoll setup here. So I'm just gonna go to ragdoll, and I will you know, go to import physics, and I'm gonna look for, these are the older ones, and I'm just gonna quickly browse to our rig here, and we have this ragdoll setups. We have the full body ragdoll and we have the jiggle setup. We're going to look at the jiggle a little bit later. I'm going to load this full body setup first and import physics. Okay, so now I think we still have to go to show viewport and turn on the plugin shapes to see the ragdoll. So now this is our ragdoll setup here. So by default, if I just press play, you can see, like, you know, this is just going to fall down. Make sure you're playing at you know, play every frame, max real time. So now because we don't have any ground here, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to display it properly, I'm going to create a polyplane, and I'm going to convert this, you know, I'm going to again select this polyplane, and I'll go to ragdoll, and I'm just going to click on assign. So I just assign this polyplane as a ragdoll surface. So now again, if I press play, this entire thing is going to fall down again. So but you know, now to keep this polyplane stable, we have to, you know, go down here to R marker. First of all, select the polyplane and R marker, and just change the behavior from use group to animated. So now this plane will stay, you know, where it is, and it's going to follow any animation that you have on the plane. So now if you play, you can see right away this ragdoll is working. So as soon as you press play, it's kind of falling down, and it's trying to stabilize itself, and it's trying to fall down here. Like you can see, like, you know, it's still stabilizing itself, like, you know, with the front, with both of these horns and the legs, it's kind of stable enough to, you know, land like this. But you know, we can now try to give a little bit of a different pose and see, like, you know, how well it stabilizes. So let me just click on this show, and let me just put this on the side so that, you know, I can just quickly hide it, and I can select the leg controller and I can turn it back on. So now I'm just going to give a little bit of a different shape to this leg. And now let's hit the play button again, and let's see how this, you know, so now you can see, like, it's gonna fall on one side, and it's landing on the ground. And so now let's try to record, and let's see how this, you know, looks on our mammoth here. Like, you know, how this is gonna look. So right away, I'm just gonna go to ragdoll, and I will just click on record simulation. Maybe I should click on this box. I can just reset the settings, and I can just click on ignore joints. I think that would be the best way. And I'm gonna click on this auto cache just for now, so that I can scrub and see how my ragdoll is working. So now I'm gonna click on record some markers, and we'll see how this looks. And maybe I should keep this camera here. Record markers. It's gonna play out the entire thing. So the elephant is falling down, and now we'll see how this looks on because right now my timeline is 500 frames. I should have kept it smaller, but it's fine. And so now you will see it's gonna get recorded. And okay. Yep, so now I can quickly turn off the plugin shapes, and now we'll see how this looks. And now you see, like, it's gonna working pretty well. It's falling down and it's like landing. You can see the ear interacting with the ground. You can see this ear landing nicely on the neck here, and then like the tail is like also interacting. There are some fixes that you can do, like for sure, but now you can see like the physics working. In coming weeks I'm gonna make some more tutorials regarding how we can use this physics to improve our animation. But now another thing I would say here, as this elephant is falling down, so now I will still be able to switch between IK and FK. So right now we are looking at IK here. We can now switch all 4 legs from IK to FK, and we'll see how this animation looks on FK. And so right now they are on FK, and now we'll see. So there is a little bit of a something is wrong. I think maybe we might have did something here, but now you can see like how this is. Oh yeah, sorry, we had a different pose here on the IK. If you remember, we raised this leg using the IK, so that's why it's kind of like, so now I can like switch it back to IK for now. Like if I show you, so initially we made a pose like this, so that's why it's not matching up. But if we had a like, now you see the remaining legs are FK, so they are matching nicely and with this leg, and like so now the remaining legs we can just easily switch from IK to FK, and animation is lining up perfectly. Okay, so that's just like a quick look at the the ragdoll. I'm gonna turn back on this ragdoll, and now I want to show you like how we can use this ragdoll on an animation. So now I have an animation saved here. I'm just gonna load my studio library, and I'm gonna load one of the animation here. So but before that, let me delete these let me delete some of the animation. So right now with the settings we recorded like our ragdoll animation is recorded directly on this layer. I can just disable that, and I can move this leg on the ground. I can go to animation, base animation, and I can just move this leg on the ground. And now wait, I think I have to update it. It's because it's cached right now, so we have to go to ragdoll, and we have to go to system, and uncache it. I want to import this animation, so I'm gonna quickly hide this plugin shapes, and I will import this animation. So yeah, I'm gonna select content from the studio library, and I will apply this animation on this mammoth. So now as I play, you can see like I still have to switch this one leg from IK to FK to see my animation. So I'm gonna do that. I will switch from IK to FK, and okay, we just have one weird pose here, but I'm just gonna zero out this pose quickly, and now we'll play. So this is the animation that we have for now. And now I want to see like how this animation will make my ragdoll look, and now I want to explore my ragdoll on this animation. So I'm gonna turn this ragdoll back on, and now let's see how this ragdoll will behave with this animation. So now you can see like this ragdoll is trying to follow this animation, but things are kind of interacting with each other. So like that's why somehow like it's just ended up falling down. But like so now we can try one thing here. We can select the right now we can select this the spine, head, and both of these legs. We can select these groups, and we can put these groups to from simulated to animated. So now these groups will not be like they will be just following the animation. And now if I play here, so now you can see like this trunk is interacting with the ground, and like the tail is kind of having the follow through, and the ear is also having its own follow through with these some of these settings. I can go to ragdoll, record simulation again with the same settings. I'm gonna again click on record markers. So now you will see that whatever we put back to the animated, that will not be recorded, and like these other things will be recorded. The trunk, the ear, and the tail will be recorded now. So there are a few funny things going on here, like as we are looking at this ragdoll playing out. Yeah, this trunk is kind of jumping around. That's because this jaw is going up and down, and because of this jaw going up and down, this ragdoll was interacting with the jaw. So this thing can easily be fixed. If I turn on the plugin shapes, I can go to the ragdoll manipulator. I can select this specific ragdoll, and I can turn off the collide from this. Like, so now I turn off the collision, and now if I recalculate again, so let me recalculate. I'm going to skip this. Mouth interaction improved. So I just re-recorded it, and now that trunk is no longer interacting with the mouth because we turn off the collision. And now you can see, like, because of the full body setup, how well this trunk is interacting with the face, like, as this head shake is happening, and like, the trunk is kind of going over the face and doing all these things. And like, these minor things, makes a huge amount of, difference, like, with the quality of your animation. And now you can see how the tail is interacting with the leg. Now let's go one step further, and now we're gonna bring in the jiggle setup here, and we'll try to add some more jiggly animation. We're not gonna remove the existing setup that we have. All we are gonna do here is I'm just gonna select this head, tail and trunk and the ears. I'm gonna select all three, and I will turn them to animated as well. So now these the existing full body setup is gonna so we put all of these groups to animated, and now this existing full body setup we will be able to use this as collision, so now because we put this entire group to animated, and because of this, now we will be able to use this full body ragdoll setup as collision with the jiggle. So now again, I'm going to go to ragdoll and import physics, and this time I will bring in the jiggle setup. So import physics. And so now before I do anything, I should go to ragdoll, and I should go to edit and uncache, so that the existing cache can be removed. So now you can see here we have these jiggle setup here. So now if I play, and let's see how this looks. So now you can see, like, these jiggle controllers, they are moving around at the same time they are interacting with this the setup that we have right now, this full body setup. They are interacting with that, and like they are having their own jiggle as well. So now let's just go ahead and let's record this, and let's see how this looks. And again, this time I'm just going to go to ragdoll and record simulation. This time I'm just going to turn off this auto cache, and this time we don't want to record anything on the body, so we're going to turn on use selection, and we're going to only select the jiggle controller. So right now we have this jiggle controllers layer, so I'm going to right click on this and select objects. So now we are selecting all the jiggle controllers. So that's all we want to record right now. So that we have to take the step here, we have to turn on the jiggle controllers, and we have to turn on the use selection here as well. So now let's see how this looks. I'm going to click on record markers, and it's going to record to a new layer where we'll see this jiggle controllers, and that's it. Now we can just hide these plugin shapes, and we'll see how our animation looks. And now we can hide the controllers here as well. So and we can just quickly see how this animation is turning out. And now you can see, like, there are pretty nice subtle jiggles happening on the body, like, which you can only see from this from this gray shaded view. Like if you press 6 and 7, it would be hard to see, like that, but yeah, in the end you can see how jiggly the body is, like with the sudden stop. So now this is just using the animation rig. We did not explore the muscle rig yet. We are only exploring the this one, and like so some of you might say that it's a little bit too much, the jiggliness is a little bit too much. So you can just go to this animation layer and you can reduce the weight. So maybe you can reduce by 0.5 or like whatever weight you want, and now it will be much lesser, the overall jiggle motion. And now let's try to do the same things with the other rig, with the muscle rig. So I opened the muscle file, which is this Adonis FX muscle rig. So I just opened this one, and I also bring in the same animation that we were just modifying, and like we were trying to have a trunk animation, and like we were trying to simulate the trunk and the tail. So all of that is just like I just imported. and now you can see like we have the jiggle animation right now, and all the things that we just did in the other file I bring in the same animation in this file. So right now it's playing smoothly, but as soon as I start to turn on the skin, fat, fascia, or on all these layers, as soon as I will turn on, you will see that our file will get much slower. So I just wanted to mention, if you want to use this Adonis FX file, then you first of all you need to have Adonis FX installed, and you need to have either a trial version or a full version, a paid version, activated. Only then you will see these muscles. Otherwise you will not see any of these sensors or any of these muscles activating. They will not work without having the Adonis FX. So right now I have the Adonis FX. So this creating muscles and diving into muscles is it's a little bit of a journey. Like you have to have the knowledge to be able to use this file properly. So right now if you have something like a walk or a run, then you will be able to just use this file. You can just bring in your animation in this file, and you can turn on the skin layer and you can start playing. I will show you that. But if you want to have something more crazy, then you need to have the knowledge on how to modify the muscles and how to do all those things. So you can learn these things on the on Bebo YouTube channel. They have some tutorials, and or I have a full tutorial. I have a full course which I made with 80 level, in which I taught how to how to create this muscle setup from scratch. I created this. So I am sharing this rig, like the muscle rig, but that does not mean that I will be able to solve all your problems with a muscle rig, because you need to have a understanding of the workflow of how to use this, and it's a very deeper topic to dive into. And and so now I spent a good chunk of time to create this course on how to create this muscle simulation. So if you're getting this rig for muscles, you need to have the knowledge of how to use this Adonis FX, and for to gain the knowledge you can definitely check out my course. But I'm not responsible for any errors or any small things that you might even big things. So right now this is working for the walk, but I cannot guarantee that it will work for everything. The animation rig should work for everything, but the muscle rig, you have to have the knowledge on how to control the muscles. And I just opened this file, and now I'm gonna quickly show you guys a few things about this file, and then we are gonna start simulating the muscles. So right now you will see that we have this geo file in which we have all the skeleton, muscles, and some other layers here. These are all different geometries, and so when you create muscles, at the end of muscles you combine them, and so this is what that geo is, the glue geo. So I'm going to show you guys. So I will turn off this geo for now, and I will show you the muscle sensors first. So I turned this on, and these are the sensors that are driving the activations of the muscle. So whenever, so for example, if I rotate my arm, this muscle is getting activated. So same way, so when there are some rotations happening, so you will see that these sensors are getting activated. Some are becoming red, some are becoming blue. Red means they are getting activated as they are going to some angle, and as they are getting closer. So these line ones are distance sensors, and these rotation ones are rotational sensors. So these are sensors, and then we have the skeleton layer. The skeleton is the layer, it's the geometry that is driving the entire system, the entire muscle system. So muscles are connected to the skeleton. So next thing is the muscles layer. I'm just going to turn on. So right now, as soon as the muscles will turn on, you will see that these muscles are this layer. So you see, as I'm selecting these muscles, I'm selecting this geo layer, but we have individual muscles here. There's a left side muscle, there are right side, and there are middle muscles. Their task is done. We set them up. Once we set them up, then we have to combine them and create a glue layer. So this is that glue layer, the muscle glue layer. So now if I play, you will see that these muscles are working now. Yeah, so okay, so yeah, so like, yeah, they are working. So this is the muscle layer there, and like, you know, and I can play this and you can see like these are the muscles, and above these muscles we have so I should avoid scrubbing here on the timeline. I should just press this one. Okay, so now these muscle layer, and above the muscles we have the fascia. So this is this, you know, right above the muscles we have this layer which is compressing the muscles, and this layer is getting driven by the muscles. So this is the second layer that we have here, and now as you can see as I'm playing, so this layer, the fascia layer, is trying to move with the muscles, and like, you know, this is just like a layer which is tightly you know, you know, going and moving with the muscles. So I'm not gonna you know, talk too much about that. And then we have this fat layer, which is the next one. I'm going to turn that on, which is the distance between I mean, fat layer is the, you know, from the muscles to the outer skin. So whatever is in between, you can call it fat or you can call it tissue. So this is that layer. So now if I play, you can see like this fat layer is getting activated as we are playing. So yeah, and so now you will see there are some like, you know, you need to have like, you know, so some like, so this is just the base simulation. So this is not going to be final. So now once you have this simulation done, then you are going to merge this simulation with the animation. So like, yeah, so right now this is just the fat that's getting simulated, and now you can see like, you know, how it's like how it's behaving. Yeah, so like, you know, now you can see it's getting more and more slower. And the last layer that we have is the skin layer. So now I'm just going to turn on the skin layer, and I'm just going to go back. So I will quickly talk about some tips and tricks on how to, you know, change some of the settings of the muscles and of the skin, like, you know, how you can modify. I'm just going to share just a little bit, but not going to dive too much into this. So now this is the last layer which I just turned on, is the skin layer. And now you can see the ears. So like, if I remind you, the fat layer did not have any ears. The skin layer have these ears. So right now the ears are gonna be completely messed up, because the ears should be, you know, should be from animation, and the muscles, like whatever happening in the body, should be from the muscles right now if you're using the muscle rig. So right now, if I again you know, if I show you, I can turn off the skin layer, and there are no ears. And if I turn it on now, you can see like, and you can see the skin layer is right above right above the fat. So the fat is slightly thinner and the skin is slightly thicker than that. And so now if I play, you will see that now the skin is the topmost layer, which is getting driven and which is getting moved on the top of these muscles. So now another thing, right here, you can see like there are some pinches happening, and as things are moving. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you want to have a complete polished look, I just spent like 10-12, like around 13 hours to set up this muscles when I was setting up when I was making the course. And like, you know, I mean, to have a professional muscle setup, like you need to spend much more than that, like, you know, at least couple weeks. Like, you know, 10-12 hours of work will not get you the best work, but yeah, it is getting us a decent amount of, like, you know, kind of stuff here. So we are going to export this, and we're going to see how this muscle setup will work with the, you know, and how are we going to combine this with animation. Okay, so now you can see like what kind of simulation we are seeing. I'm not gonna you know, play till the end, because it's like pretty slow. And so right now the final layer is the skin layer. So we are gonna export the skin layer and the animation layer, and then we are gonna try to merge both of them in a separate file. So in Adonis FX, you do have a tool which you know, can help you merge all these things in the same file, but it's showing me some errors, and like, you know, so my preferred way is to export the simulation of the skin layer and export the animation as an Alembic, and then in a fresh file try to merge them and try to see, like, you know, how you wanna see all the things merged. So now what I'm gonna do here is I have this I'm going to hide everything. I don't need to see anything here. I'm going to select the skin layer, which is right here. And I'm also going to turn on this mammoth geo, which is this one, so LOD 200, and the skin layer. So I'm going to export both of these things as Alembic here. So I'm selecting both of these things, and I will go to cache, Alembic cache, and export selection to Alembic. I'm going to export them just with one step, so I don't have to go more than that. I think, you know, if you want to go for the case of lighting, you can definitely increase the step count to 0.5, then it's going to cache every 0.5, and like, you know, so for now I'm just going to leave this to 1, and my timeline will be time slider, so that's perfect. And yeah, and then I can turn on UV right and maybe wall space, and right UV sets. Maybe I can yeah, so I think I can just turn on these strings for now, and I'm gonna click on export selection. And yeah, so right now I'm on a different project, so maybe I'm just gonna go to the same project that we are on, or maybe I'm just gonna, you know, this is a clean project, I don't want to mess it up. So I'm just gonna, in the tests, I will make a new, you know, Alembic exports, and anim and muscles. I'm just gonna name something and export selection. So now Maya is gonna export both of our files, and you know, both of, like, you know, the skin one and the animation one. So now you will see that both are looking different. Like, we have some wrinkles that we are getting from in our animation file, but we have you know, the muscle simulation that we are getting in the skin file. So once, like, you know, this entire thing is cached out, we're going to merge them. We're going to try to decide that, you know, how much we want what. You know, we will be able to I mean, you should also try to export these you know, these horns, and like in these tusks and everything. You can export all of these things, but for now our goal here is just to look at how to merge the you know, the muscles and the animation. So that's what we're going to do in the, you know, once this entire thing is exported. I'm going to pause for now, and when this thing is exported, I'm going to, you know, bring them in a fresh file. Okay, so now the muscle is exported. I mean, the skin geometry and the animation geometry, both of them are exported. And now I don't need this file anymore. I can just go back to my animation file, like, you know, the animation file which we were working earlier. So in this file, I'm going to import both of those things. Now I can just hide this, you know, this geometry. First of all, I'm going to hide the controllers. I don't need to see them. And I'm going to just select this geometry. And I'm just gonna hide it for now, because we just need the extra ones. So now in here, I'm just gonna go to, again, cache, Alembic cache, and import Alembic, and I'm just gonna go to the same file here, which was tests and Alembic exports. I'm gonna just import this one. So now we got the same file, which you can see, like, there are two geometries here. One is the muscle one, and one is our animation one. So now our goal here is to merge both of them, and, like, you know, so now we have to decide what part we want from which file. So now you can see, like, we have both of the files here. Now, so you might be wondering, why am I, you know, using these files? I just want a clean, you know, I don't like, if I can try merging this with my existing animation file, which we just hit, you know, just hide. But, you know, I think this working this way would be the most cleanest way. And I'm just going to hide any controllers that I'm seeing here. These, you know, the trunk controllers. Okay, so now what I can do here is, first of all, I can select the muscle geometry, which is, you know, right now we are selecting with a bad ear, and then I'm gonna hold shift. I think, you know, it'll be best to do this from the outliner. So we have the skin geometry, and then LOD 200. LOD 200 is the animation geometry. So skin, I'm gonna hold control, and then body LOD 2. And what I can do here is I can go to deform and blend shape. I can just click on that. So now we have this blend shape here, and then now you can see that we have the skin blend shape. So now as I'm playing here, I'm just going to quickly hide the skin one. We don't need to see that because we applied the skin blend shape to our animation blend shape. So now you can see that as we are playing here, we are looking at the animation, but we can always go here and we can turn on the skin blend shape, and you can see as we turn on the skin blend shape, we are now seeing the skin animation, like the muscles kind of animation that we did just now. And now we have option to merge, to mix and match, based on what we want here. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do here to mix it is I'm gonna select this. I will hold right click, and we have the paint, and in paint I'm gonna go to blend shape, and we can go to this weights. So right now you can see in the weights is all white, so that's great. I'm also going to turn on this hammer with 3 lines. So these are our paint tools, and so right now you can see it's completely 1 because our blend shape is set to 1. So now we can remove the weight from here, wherever we don't need it. For example, the ear, so you can see the ears are we don't need them. So first of all I'm going to hold B, and if I drag, I can make the brush bigger, and now I can start removing the weight from the ear, because now we want to have these ear animation from we want the ear animation from the animation, not the muscle simulation. But it's best to do it on frame 0. I'm going to press Ctrl Z a couple times, and I'm going to go to frame 0 where it's symmetrical. And we can also turn on the mirror here. So down here there should be a stroke, and then we can turn on the reflection. So now you can see the mirror is on, and now we can start removing the paint from the ear and from in fact from the entire head, because we want to have full animation in this part. We don't want anything from the muscle here, and in fact this entire face and this whole place, we don't want anything from so if you end up painting the wrong area, then you can hold Control and you can repaint it to the white color again. And now again I can remove the weight from this part. I don't know why this geo was moving a little bit, but yeah, it's fine. Now we can also hide quickly this ground plane. It'll make it easier for us to paint. Again, I'm going to select this, hold right button and right mouse button, and blend shape and weights, and we can continue. Again, I can paint from the head, and I'm going to keep going, and I'll speed this up. We want to have the foot animation driven from the animation again, because there is a squash and stretch going on the foot, and it's best to have this anything that's happening on the foot coming from the paint, so yeah, so right now you can see the foot is not painted, is 0, that means it's dark. That means now the foot animation will be driven from animation. And I think that we can do the same thing on the tail. We can just remove any weight on the tail, and because I don't need any, there were no muscles on the tail anyway, so I think we can just remove any weight from the tail. Okay, and so that is done. And I think even in the trunk I can just reduce the overall. We did have a something on the trunk, but for now let's see how this looks. I'm just gonna paint this part. Okay, and now let's try playing this. For now we are not gonna smooth anything, so I'm just gonna play this and we'll see how this looks. So now we can see the body is completely muscles, and now the ear is from animation. We can still remove some weight. I think there are still some weights that's making this ear looks weird. And yeah, but now you know, I now we can start to see, like, you know, we even in the body we can bring back some of the animation feel. So that's why it's best to do this separately. So again, I can start painting this one. Okay, so maybe just we have to remove some of these areas. I think we can do it again on frame 0. You can you know, like, try doing oh sorry, yeah. So I just want to see, like, you know, how this trunk is looking, because we don't really need much muscle effect on this trunk. And so now, in fact, like, what I can do here is I can scale everything by 0.5, and I can flood it. So now we reduce the overall influence of the muscles on the overall body, because we don't really need like 100%. Like, you know, we can have like a 50% on whole body, and I think that's kind of like that's more than enough. Now you see, like, you know, the overall body have, like, you know, the what we need from animation, and at the same time, like, you know, we have kind of that muscly feel on the body also, like, you know. So I this is my preferred way. So now, like, you know, this is how far I will go with this, you know, with muscle plus animation rig. Yeah, so that was just, you know, a quick thing I wanted to demonstrate. Like, so now if I want to polish this, I can again go to paint, and I can paint a few more things. And, like, you know, and maybe, you know, what I can do here is I can go to smooth, and I can flood the smooth a little bit, so that, you know, the merge can happen a little bit more smoothly. So now that means now this entire thing is gonna be smooth. So the animation and the you know, and the animation and the muscle simulation will smoothly merge. And now again, like, you know, if you want to reduce some more, so we can try reducing from these areas. And, like, you know, because I feel like, you know, there were some nice wrinkles here, and even like here we can try reducing a little bit, and then, like, you know, just a little bit, and then you can smooth it back again, so that paint it a little bit. And so now if we play again, so now you will see that we see those wrinkles that we were seeing in the animation. And yeah, so yeah, you can see that those wrinkles are popping up. And I think we can do something similar in the back side here, because I think when this leg is coming back here, we would like to see some wrinkles in the back side here as well again. So we can again do the same thing, and just reducing this just this section a little bit, and then smoothing it a little bit. Okay, and yeah, so I mean, this was kind of a quick demo on how we can use this entire rig properly. So now, you know, I think this is looking pretty good to me, and you know, I think now we have the best of both worlds. We have, like, you know, the muscle kind of acting, and, like, you know, now it's not full jiggly, like, you know, it's loose enough. And now, you know, and like we do see some, you know, muscles moving inside the body here when this is moving, like here, like, you know, we do see something, you know, moving inside like, you know, here, like when and even the you know, the neck here. And so yeah, like, this was a quick way. So now how we could, like, you know, make our animation better. And so now again, in the end, like, we have all the shader in this file, because this was animation file. So I can hold right click, I can select this geometry, and I can go to assign existing material, and we have this you know, mammoth skin 2 standard. So this is the main rendering one. So I can just turn it on, and so now it's looking a little bit weird. But if I press 6 7, and then I can again go to renderer, and I can turn on the UV, like, you know, I can click on this regenerate all UV, and that's gonna generate our, like, you know, textures. And now if we don't have we do have some lights here, so let's try rendering this using the normal you know, Arnold renderer, and let's see how it looks. Okay, so now at this point we don't have any decent lights. I can try importing the lights that we have. I can just do it from the reference editor. So create reference, we have some lights here. I can just reference these lights in. Oh, my file crashed. I mean, I didn't save that file. But yeah, so yeah, guys, that was a quick like, you know, like a way to use all of this this rig and this muscles and everything, and I try to make it as quick as possible, as brief as possible, and hopefully I explained everything correctly. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and yeah, so I hope you will enjoy this rig. Thank you so much.